Assalamualaikum and hi, I greet to all of you and also my lecturer, Mdm Hasniza. So my name is Wan Amir Rishad bin Wan Izwan Shah and my ID is IS0106031. So today I will explain a little bit to you guys about database security and also its threats based on the research and the studies that I have done. So before we begin, let me give you guys a brief about database security and its threats. So every day, new computer threats threaten and harm computers around the world. Many computer threats, including viruses, adware, trojans, and other malware, can be installed onto a computer without knowledge and potentially damaging files on your hard drive. And that's where database security comes in. So data is a very critical asset of any company. Every day, companies worldwide collect a lot of data on their daily operation and customers. So data is stored in databases. They are used to handle data and automate various functions within and outside companies. So due to its utter importance, data protection is a critical component of a business protections. So data security shall be the goal of any database management system, which is DBMS, and also called as database security. So however, it is not always so. So today we are going to learn more about database security and threats and what IT security teams and business owners can do for database protection. So what is database security? So database security are used to protect as well as secure a database or a database management system software from illegitimate use and also from malicious cyber threats and attacks. The types of database security measures that we should use should include protecting the underlying infrastructure that houses the database, such as networks and servers. So basically, database security protects our database and also our data that might be confidential or very important to ourselves or a certain company. So it prevents people that have no authorization to use the database as well as using data for any other reason. It also protects the database from the threats that have been growing from day to day that increase the percentage for a database to be threatened. So why do we need database security? So it is essential to any company or organization with any online component. So data security helps companies block attacks, including ransomware and breach firewalls, which in turn to keep sensitive information safe. It also prevents data loss through corruption of files or programming errors, ensure that physical damage to the server doesn't result in the loss of data, prevent malware or viral infections which can corrupt data, bring down a network or spread to all endpoints. So next slide, we are going into the features of database security. So there are so many other features of database security, but I only pick what I think is the most important and also crucial. So the first feature of database security is authentication. So database security measures include authentication, the process of verifying if a user's credentials match those stored in your database, and permitting only authenticated users access to your data, networks, and also database platform. So there are three types of authentication, which is one-factor authentication, two-factor authentication, and three-factor authentications. So the more factor you have for authentications, the more secure your database security will be. So the next feature of database security is encryptions. So database security can include the secure management of encryption keys, protection of the encryption system, management of the secure offsite encryption backup, and access restriction protocols. So encryption refers to the coding or scrambling of the data so that humans cannot read them, and just computers can read them. Encryption also used to protect highly sensitive data such as identification number, card number, etc. So the next features of database security, which is an additional technique for protecting database, is to deploy data masking. So data masking is the process of protecting sensitive information in databases from inappropriate visibility by replacing it with gibberish or realistic but not real data. So the goal of data masking is to make sure that sensitive and personally identifiable information is not available outside of the authorized environment. So we are going into database threats now. So what is database threats? A threat is a potential negative action or event facilitated by a vulnerability that results in unwanted impact to a computer system or applications. So in this topic, which is about database threats, so a threat means that an event or a negative potential action that can give a negative impact on a database, such as loss of data, loss of integrity, and also the quality of the data. So yeah, we're going to see the examples of database threats and also how to prevent it. So the first database threat is excessive database privileges. So database users may have different privilege, but however, certain users may abuse them, such as excessive privilege abuse, legitimate privilege abuse, and unused privilege abuse. Excessive privilege always create unnecessary risk. So how to prevent excessive database privilege that can be used by business owners or certain companies? It is advised to deploy and uphold a strict access and privilege control policy, and they also should not grant excessive privileges to company employees and revoke outdated privilege in time. So they need to strict for the employees. They need to give the employees a strict access to their database. So the next threat is database backups exposure. So database backup files are often left completely unprotected from attack. As a result, there are numerous security breaches happening through database backup leaks. And how to prevent database backups exposure from happening is to encrypt both database and backups. Also, storing data in encrypted form allows secure both production and backup copies of database. They also can audit both the database and backups. Doing this helps to see who has been trying to access sensitive data, but it is good practice to make backups of proprietary databases at defined periods of time. So the next database threats is lack of security expertise and education. Databases get breached and leaked due to insufficient level of IT security, expertise, and education of non-technical employees. IT security personnel may also lack of the expertise required to implement security controls, enforce policies, or conduct incident response processes. So how to prevent lack of security expertise and education? So business owners can educate all of its database users in database security, and they also can their IT security specialists shall be urged to raise their professional level and qualifications. So lack of security expertise and education. So database get breached and lead to insufficient level of IT security expertise and education of non-technical employees that who may break basic database security rules and put database at risk. So the next database threats is unmanaged sensitive data. So many companies store a lot of sensitive information and fail to keep an accurate inventory of it. It means that newly added data may be exposed to threats. So forgotten and attended data may fall prey to hackers. New sensitive data is added on a daily basis, and it is not easy to keep track of it all. So how to prevent unmanaged sensitive data? Is to encrypt all sensitive data in your database and also apply required controls and permission to the database. So this is my reference, and I think that's all that I need to show to you guys. So thank you.